Nick Kyrgios, the Australian tennis sensation, has made a name for himself not only for his impressive skills on the court, but also for his fiery temperament and outspoken personality off the court. With a career spanning over a decade, Kyrgios has had his fair share of rivalries with other players, umpires, and even tennis authorities. Some of these rivalries have been fueled by his controversial behavior and outspoken comments, while others have been born out of intense on-court battles. Kyrgios and Nadal are two of the most well-known and talented tennis players in the world today. While they may be at the top of their game on the court, their rivalry off the court has been just as intense. They've had several heated encounters over the years, with Kyrgios being particularly vocal in his criticisms of Nadal's behavior on the court. Their rivalry began in earnest in 2014, when Kyrgios defeated Nadal in the fourth round of Wimbledon. After the match, Kyrgios made headlines for his on-court antics, including shouting and celebrating in a way that some felt was disrespectful to his opponent. Their most infamous encounter came at Wimbledon in 2019, when Kyrgios accused Nadal of taking too much time between points. During the match, Kyrgios repeatedly shouted, "Come on," to get Nadal to hurry up. And at one point, he even mocked Nadal's pre-serve routine. Nadal, for his part, appeared to be unfazed by Kyrgios' antics and went on to win the match. The Spaniard has been mostly diplomatic in response to Kyrgios' criticisms, choosing to focus on his own game rather than getting drawn into a war of words. However, he has occasionally spoken out against Kyrgios' behavior, particularly after the incident at Wimbledon in 2019. In an interview after the match, Nadal said that Kyrgios' behavior was not good for the sport. Kyrgios, for his part, has been less diplomatic in his barbs. In a 2019 interview with the New York Times, he accused Nadal of being super salty and said that he didn't respect him off the court. Nick Kyrgios and Novak Djokovic's rivalry both on and off the court has been the subject of much discussion among fans and experts alike. The two players have clashed numerous times over the years, with Kyrgios often targeting Djokovic's behavior on and off the court. One of their most memorable encounters happened in 2019, when Kyrgios called Djokovic a tool in a podcast interview. Kyrgios went on to say that he had no respect for Djokovic, and accused him of being obsessed with his own image. Djokovic has largely tried to take the high road when it comes to Kyrgios' outlandish comments. In an interview with ESPN in 2019, Djokovic said that he had no ill will toward Kyrgios, and that he respected him as a player. Their most contentious encounter, however, came at the 2021 Australian Open, where Kyrgios was a vocal critic of Djokovic's behavior during the COVID-19 pandemic. Djokovic, who was heavily criticized for organizing a tennis tournament in Serbia during the pandemic, was eventually forced to withdraw from the tournament after he tested positive for COVID-19. Kyrgios was quick to seize on the opportunity to fire a volley at Djokovic, calling him boneheaded and selfish in a tweet. Djokovic has apologized for his role in organizing the tournament and has tried to move on from the controversy. While their rivalry may be contentious at times, it's clear that both players have a deep respect for each other's abilities on the court, though. Nick Kyrgios and Stan Wawrinka have also had a rocky relationship both on and off the court. The two players have clashed numerous times, with Kyrgios most often being the instigator of their spats. One of their most infamous encounters came in 2015, during a match at the Rogers Cup in Montreal. During the match, Kyrgios made a crude remark about Wawrinka's girlfriend, Donna Vekic, within earshot of the umpire and his opponent. The comment, which was picked up by the on-court microphone, caused a firestorm of controversy and led to widespread condemnation of Kyrgios' behavior. Wawrinka was understandably upset by the comment and took to Twitter to vent his displeasure. In a tweet, he called Kyrgios' behavior disrespectful and unacceptable. Since that incident, Kyrgios and Wawrinka have continued to clash on and off the court. In a 2016 match at the Miami Open, Kyrgios appeared to deliberately hit a ball at Wawrinka, leading to a heated exchange between the two. Their most recent encounter came in the first round of the 2021 Australian Open, where Kyrgios defeated Wawrinka in 4 sets. After the match, Kyrgios appeared to extend an olive branch to Wawrinka, saying that he had nothing but respect for him and that he was a legend of the game. Wawrinka has always tried to avoid getting drawn into Krygios' spats. In an interview with the New York Times in 2019, he said that he didn't want to get involved in the drama surrounding Krygios, and that he preferred to focus on his own game. Nick Krygios and Boris Becker have had a contentious relationship over the years. Krygios often snipes at the tennis legend both on and off the court. Their most high-profile clash came in 2019. Krygios criticized Becker on social media after the former player had suggested that Krygios needed to work harder if he wanted to reach his full potential. In response, Krygios tweeted, "Why are you now speaking up for me, Boris? Strange guy." Becker fired back, saying that he'd always been a fan of Krygios' talent and that he was simply trying to offer some constructive criticism. The feud between Krygios and Becker continued to simmer. Krygios called Becker a donut on social media in 2020. Becker has largely ignored Krygios' antics. He simply says he has no problem with the player. Nick Krygios and Pat Rafter's relationship has also been tumultuous over the years. The two Australian tennis stars often butt heads both on and off the court. One of their most high-profile clashes came in 2015 when Rafter criticized Krygios' behavior during a Davis Cup tie against Kazakhstan. Rafter, who was serving as Australia's Davis Cup captain at the time, said that Krygios' attitude was disrespectful and that he needed to learn to control his emotions on the court. Krygios fired back, saying that Rafter was a dick and that he had no respect for the former world #1 player. In a 2019 tweet, Krygios accused Rafter of being a puppet for Tennis Australia and suggested that he was not qualified to serve as the organization's performance director. Rafter has only said that he wants Krygios to do well, and that he believes the player has incredible talent and much to offer the game. Nick Krygios' public disagreements with Tennis Australia over the years are also legendary. One of Krygios' most high-profile criticisms of Tennis Australia came in 2019, when he accused the organization of not doing enough to support players affected by the Australian bushfires. Tennis Australia fired back, saying that it was doing everything it could to support players and that Krygios' comments were unfair. Krygios' criticism of Tennis Australia continued in 2020, when he criticized the organization for its handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. In a tweet, he accused Tennis Australia of being selfish for insisting on holding the Australian Open despite concerns about the virus. Tennis Australia defended its decision to hold the tournament, saying that it had implemented strict safety protocols to protect players and fans. Nick Krygios is one of those players you either love or hate, or love to hate. He's brash and outspoken, and often makes comments without considering the consequences. But aren't those exactly the players that give color to the game? You decide. We'll catch you in the next video.